Once upon a time, in the bustling port city of Cordava, where ships from every corner of the world brought spices, gold, and stories, there was one tale everyone knew: the legend of Alazar, the scholar, king whose treasure had never been found. Alazar had ruled centuries ago, not with armies, but with wisdom. When enemies came for his city, he fled inland, gathering his most prized possessions and hiding them away. Some said he buried his treasure of scrolls, inventions, and gems somewhere beyond the desert sands, leaving behind only a map split into 4 pieces, each hidden in a different corner of Cordava. But no one had ever found all 4 fragments, nor had anyone seen the great wealth of Alazar since he disappeared. Until now, maybe. For in the dusty depths of an old bookstore, 17-year-old Luis worked as an apprentice, dusting shelves and binding books. He knew every inch of the shop except for one, a locked room in the back where his boss kept old ledgers and other forgotten items. One day, rain lashed against the shop windows. Lightning cracked and thunder roared as Luis sorted through dusty ledgers, searching for a lost receipt. As he reached under a stack of papers, his fingers brushed against something thin and flat. Pulling it out, he saw a faded piece of parchment tied with a crimson ribbon. Unfurling it carefully, he saw a fragment of a map drawn in delicate gold ink, a harbor dotted with ships, a winding path leading to a set of cliffs, and in the bottom corner, tiny handwriting, Piece 1, for the one who listens. A chill ran down Luis's spine. Could this be a piece of Alazar's map? The legend was just a story, right? Still, he couldn't shake the feeling that something important had returned. That night, unable to sleep, he crept back into the shop. Holding the fragment up to the lamplight, he traced the golden lines. Suddenly, a voice startled him. Fascinating, isn't it? It was Edda, the shipwright's daughter. She held another piece of the map. "I thought you might have some questions," she said, stepping closer. She explained that her grandfather, a weathered sailor, had found his piece of the map hidden inside the hollow mast of an abandoned ship he was dismantling. "The one who listens," Luis whispered, remembering the writing on his fragment. "Do you think we could find the others?" he asked, hoping it wasn't foolish to even ask. Edda looked at the map fragments in their hands. "If the first piece is for the one who listens, then I believe so," she said, a smile touching her lips. "Come with me. We may have an audience with the one who can help us." That night, they met with 2 more Cordovans, a street performer named Corin and a retired sailor called Mateo, each holding a piece of the map. Corin's piece had been found tucked inside a musical instrument. while Mateo's lay hidden in a sea chest filled with trinkets. When they joined their fragments together, the map revealed a trail leading away from Cordava and into the cliffs that stretched beyond the city. For the next few days, they followed the map's clues, deciphering riddles and solving puzzles left by Alazar. Finally, they arrived at the base of the cliffs, a sheer rock face that towered above them, baking in the relentless sun. How could they climb such a daunting height? Suddenly, Corin noticed something. "Look," he said, pointing to a series of notches cut into the rock face. With renewed hope, they began to climb, hauling themselves up hand over hand, scraping their palms and knees on the rough stone until finally reaching the top. There, hidden among the rocks, they found what they had come for: a cave entrance carved into the cliffside. Taking a deep breath, they stepped inside. The air grew cooler, damp, and musty, and the sound of dripping water echoed around them. Following a narrow passage, they came to a large cavern, and there, carved into the stone wall, was a bookshelf. Shelves filled with strange devices, diagrams and maps, along with hundreds of ancient texts bound in leather. But they were not alone. A wizened old man sat on a low stone stool, his eyes closed as if in meditation. He seemed to blend into the shadows like a part of the cave itself. The newcomers approached cautiously, and when they were close enough, the old man opened his eyes, revealing orbs that twinkled with an otherworldly light. "Who are you?" Luis asked, his voice echoing strangely within the cavern. The old man smiled, his wrinkles deepening. "You seek knowledge," he said, his voice raspy with age, "and you have found it. But what will you do with this power?" "We want to understand," Edda replied, stepping forward. "To see what Alazar hid here, why he left it here." The old man nodded slowly. "Very well," he said, rising from his stool. "Follow me." He led them to a section of the shelf, revealing a series of panels, each adorned with strange symbols. As Luis touched one of the symbols, the bookshelf rumbled and a hidden door slid open, revealing a staircase that spiraled down into darkness. At its bottom, a faint light flickered. "What lies below?" Mateo asked, his voice trembling slightly. The old man placed a gnarled hand on Mateo's shoulder. "Your journey is not yet complete," he said, his eyes twinkling. "But when you reach the end of the path, you will find your answers. Until then, walk with courage and seek the guiding light." With that, the old man turned and disappeared into the shadows. Luis and his companions exchanged nervous glances. What awaited them below? Still, they had come too far to turn back. Taking a deep breath, they descended the stairs into the flickering light. As they journeyed deeper into the cavern, the air grew warmer, the walls smoother, polished by countless hands over the centuries. Finally, the passage opened into a vast chamber, high ceilings supported by pillars that glittered with gold leaf. And, at the far end, a majestic library unfolded before them, stretching as far as the eye could see. In all directions, rows of books and scrolls lined the walls, their leather covers gleaming softly in the glow of magically powered lamps. Intricate globes sat atop tables, maps unfurled, and strange instruments lay scattered about. Through archways, they glimpsed laboratories filled with bubbling concoctions and tools, workshops containing half-finished contraptions, and even a solar-powered clock tower whose intricate gears were suspended in mid-air. It was everything Luis had dreamed of and more. But as they ventured deeper into the library, they realized it was empty, completely deserted. Where could Alicia be? And what had become of his treasure? Guided by an unseen hand, they navigated the labyrinthine corridors, discovering wonders at every turn. There were self-writing scrolls, potions that granted temporary flight, and even a device that allowed communication across vast distances. But as they explored, they noticed something strange. Every book, every invention, every scroll seemed incomplete, as if something vital was missing. It was then that Luis understood. El Salvador had hidden his treasure, not in jewels or gold, but in knowledge itself. The pursuit of understanding the world around them. They searched for a way out, eventually finding a hidden passage that led them back to the entrance. As they emerged from the cave, blinking in the bright sunlight, they knew they could never reveal its location to outsiders. They agreed to keep its existence a secret, visiting it often in the quiet hours before dawn or after dusk. And so, in the heart of the cliffs beyond Cordova, Alazar's library remained hidden, a sanctuary of knowledge protected by those who truly appreciated its value. The real treasure of Alazar was not gold or jewels, but the pursuit of knowledge itself. The endless quest to understand the world around them. And for the people of Cordava, that treasure was more valuable than anything else they could have found. The end.